How would you define digital authoritarianism, and what would you say is unique about its applications in the Middle East?
I will start by saying that digital authoritarianism is mainly how governments are controlling their own people through whether social media, digital surveillance, and other tech tools. The Middle East is unique because of that kind of relationships between the Arab Spring in 2011 and the rise of digital authoritarianism as a phenomenon in general. We have seen governments responding to the Arab Spring by imposing restrictive media laws that discriminate freedom of speech on the cyberspace, or persecuting journalists for their own anti-government stands. We also have seen surveillance being quite often around the region through whether tracking phones, tracking social media accounts. So the region actually developed a very comprehensive digital authoritarianism in the last 10 years.
And how are the digital authoritarian practices following the Arab Spring different from the practices beforehand?
Before the Arab Spring, most of the regional governments have been late to the game. Most of the leaders were really old, did not really understand the internet, whether it's Mubarak in Cairo or Gaddafi in Libya. Most of these leaders not really understand what the challenges that they have, what the younger generations are doing, and what's the online space. So there was not that much focus on the online space or the cyber capabilities in general. After the Arab Spring, the governments realized that there's an entire sphere, there's an entire world that exists that's beyond the influence and beyond the control of the government. So they're starting developing their own tools to control that kind of new sphere. And these tools were mainly disinformation operations. The second phenomenon was surveillance, putting all your own political opponents under digital surveillance, tracking their social media accounts, tracking their own data in general. The third thing was mainly restrictive freedom of speech on the online space. So after the Arab Spring, the whole system developed a very comprehensive and robust authoritarian tendencies in the online space.
To what degree is digital authoritarianism political, and to what degree is it cultural or religious?
Indeed, because of the Arab Spring, the political component is very major, and I would say it's the backbone of the digital authoritarianism in the Middle East. However, culture and religion plays a major part, mainly because of Islam. Like Middle Eastern governments and North African governments care really about religion, the role of religion in society. And that means that the governments wanted to control whatever is being disseminated in the online space about religion, Islam, Christianity, hijab, LGBTQ issues, queerness, gender. So these kind of questions have been very, very important for governments in the region. Definitely the culture and religious aspects of digital authoritarianism is there, but definitely comes second to politics.
What do you think digital authoritarianism can tell us about the future of technology and conflict in the Middle East?
I think the next theme that we will see is data localization. The Arab governments or the regional governments have a strong emphasis on localizing data internally to get access to their people's data and to make sure that they understand their population and analyzing these kind of data for the benefit of the state or the state security. The second theme that I see upcoming is an Idlib-esque technology warfare. What I mean by that, it would be a mix of drone activities, military drones activities, in addition to take a lot of pictures and a lot of videos and upload them into social media, mainly Facebook and Twitter. So you can win the war in the real world and also in the cyberspace, and that has been very, very important. And one of the main reasons for the Turkish successes, whether in Western Libya or in Idlib in northeast of Syria, has been a very successful tactic that seems that Arab governments and regional governments want to replicate in many conflicts to come.